Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'm Bella, and today we're going to be talking about the fall equinox, or Mabon, which is the start of fall, autumn, beginning around September 21st, which is coming up in a couple days. So today I'm going to be sending Reiki and tuning into the energies right now. We'll be channeling what is coming through, any messages. And we're going to be discussing some of the themes and the frequencies surrounding the energies coming in right now, associated with Mabon. I'll also do an oracle pull and a mini tarot reading at the end, so make sure you stick around until the end of this video. If you like these videos and you want to leave me a tip or a donation, you may do so at paypal.me/BellaImelda, or you can cash at me at BellaImelda. And these are appreciated with deep love and gratitude. Before we begin, I want to cast a circle of protection and do a clearing to set the space like I always do. We want to make sure that we're only working with positive beings and positive energy, the light forces. So it's really important to make sure we cleanse and make the space we're working in sacred. We don't want to allow any trickster energies, any dark energies to come in, since we're going to be opening up. And we can do this by intention, prayer, burning some sage or incense. So I'd really like to invite you to do that now. Go ahead and get some ice water. Make sure you have an hour or so of uninterrupted time so that you can really tune in all of us together and we can get the full transmission of this session. I'll be connecting through and sending some Reiki as well to all those who are open to receive. You just need to relax and the healing will come to you. No matter how many times you listen to this video, you can listen again and again and you'll always get the benefits of this healing. You can even come back to this video next Mabon and hear something different that you didn't hear this time around. So I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, let's get started. I'm going to light some sage right now first. And I'm now going to cast a bubble of white protective light all around us. This bubble seals out all negative energies, encases us in a protective shield, and it blocks out any negative unseen entities. This body is of the light. Only the light may be here, all else must go. I'd like to call in my guides to join us today, and any higher galactic counterparts, my higher self, and the higher selves of those participating today. I call in our past, future, and parallel selves, as well as the ancestors and any deceased loved ones who wish to be here today. I'd like to call in the angels, archangels, and the ascended masters to watch over and assist in this healing with love. I ask that please deliver any messages they need to come through today. I release any blockages that are holding me back from my happiness or my development. I choose to cleanse myself and release any and all negative thought forms, outdated contracts, or lingering negative energies that may be present, which are no longer serving us for the highest good. All negative energies, unseen influences, or thought forms must go in love. We wish you love, and we open up a pathway of light for all those who wish to enter, so you may be guided back home to the light. I call upon the Creator, Source, our higher selves, and the angelic realms to assist in protecting all those involved in this healing and energy reading today. Please surround our homes in love and light and disallow any negative unseen forces entry. Provide us with protection, create a space of love and healing, and surround us with an armor of light. May we be fully supported in all that we do as we do the work of the light. Please allow the highest healing possible today to be received by all who are open to it in the highest form of love and light possible. I choose to remember and experience and know that I am sovereign, I am free, I am unity, I am love. And so it is. So I'm going to tap in now and begin sending the Reiki. You should be able to feel it beginning to flow through you. Once the connection's made. Today we're listening to lo-fi for witches, some late summer, autumn-y feeling kind of music. I have my spell candle that I've anointed with my full moon oil. I have that burning. And I also have my pumpkin lantern glowing. And today we're going to be working with my crystal ball. It's a divination aid that helps me pull in messages, and really its energy is just magnificent, and it just helps with the healing and the energy reading. I also am drinking some pumpkin spice coffee today because lately I've been feeling super not grounded, and the coffee for some reason has really been helping me like ground in and connect into nature and just kind of center me and stable me for some reason. I try to avoid the caffeine as much as I can, but lately it's something about the coffee has just been super comforting. So we're going to be working with the tuning forks as well today, the chakra tuning forks. And it is a crown chakra day. It's Sunday. So we're going to be aligning with those energies. The crown chakra really connects us to higher consciousness, galactic knowledge, the cosmos, our higher selves, the greater versions of ourselves. So again, the purpose of this energy work and reading today is really to honor the Autumn Equinox, or Mabon. It's to signify the beginning of fall and the end of summer, unfortunately. And it's the equal point of lightness and darkness on the planet. At least where I am on the planet, which is East Coast United States. So the days right now for us are becoming equal to the nights. And from here on out, the nights are going to begin to get longer and darker, taking us into the winter solstice on December 21st. So Mabon is the second harvest out of 3. Lunasaw was the first one, which you can go check out my video on that if you're interested. And then Samhain coming up, or Halloween, that's the other one. So we're in the middle harvest right now. It's that time of year where we have to wear a sweater in the morning and shed it later, and it's starting to feel a little cooler, and that autumn breeze is picking up in the mornings and then the late night, and leave our windows open and we can kind of feel it. Not using our air conditioners, beginning to get a little chilly, and you can smell the autumn in the air. The energy surrounding this time of year and this holiday in particular are really the idea of harvest, accomplishment, success. And then we have the idea of balancing out with the day and the night being equal to one another, and sort of everything just coming back into equilibrium. It's a time for death, renewal, grief, and transition with this harvest and achieving our goals, expressing gratitude, preparing for winter time, sharing the bounty with others, taking time to heal. All of these are themes we may be experiencing right now. But it's really a celebration of the harvest, of this sacrifice, and then the survival. That's like moving into this cold wind, like in some climates, harsh winters. So moving into the fall towards Samhain or Halloween, it's really a time to harvest our goals and see the fruit from our intentions, which were the seeds that we planted in the springtime. If you go back to my Astera video, that's sort of when we set these intentions for the year, and now moving through midsummer, summer solstice, really seeing the fruits begin to grow, and now it's harvest time where we get to reap the benefits of all the work that we put in. It's also a really good time as we move towards Samhain and the veil is getting thinner. It's a great time to tune in and connect with deceased loved ones, but also the ancestors. I'm getting a lot of ancestor energy, and that keeps coming up for me as well as a lot of other people around me. And this idea of ancestral healing, whatever is coming down through our ancestral line or the land that we live on. We may not even realize it, but we could be picking up on these energies and being affected by it if we don't clear it. So recognizing what is ours, what is not, dealing with it however we need to. But it's just a really great time to reflect and give thanks for all of these manifestations and show appreciation for the abundance of Mother Earth. If you planted a garden, giving thanks for what you were able to receive from that. This decrease in light as we move towards the winter solstice and the days are getting longer, it's sort of giving people this sense of urgency to get what they need done, get everything taken care of, get everything in order to last them through the coming winter. And that is also an ancestral patterning. Because now in 2021, winters aren't as dire for most people as they used to be, but just sort of that energy and that theme can come up in people of this sense of urgency. I need to get this done. I need to get this taken care of before winter comes. It's sort of like an animalistic instinct in us that we all have. But going back to that idea of balance between everything kind of coming back into equilibrium with the day and night kind of equaling out, where summer solstice was longest day of the year, winter will be longest night of the year. Right now we're moving into that equilibrium. So if you want to align with those energies, it's a really great time to rid yourself as best you can of obstacles for a better future. So correcting the balance of the immediate situation you're in. So balancing within yourself, matching it up to the energy of what's going on externally, and then we'll begin to see that on a more global scale of things, the pendulum beginning to swing back the other way, coming into more balance. I feel everyone is sort of going through it right now, shedding just very difficult attachments, learning some seriously hard lessons. I've just been seeing this in everybody. People have been experiencing deaths in the family, other hard times, losing their jobs, major things that are shaking up their life. In a similar sense, we're watching the leaves die on the trees and be shed, leaving the trees bare. So I'm just sort of seeing everybody kind of align with this autumn equinox energy. And we may be experiencing some deep losses right now, or some dark nights of the soul. Like, we're just all going through this cycle of loss and renewal. And right now we're at the point where it's time for grief and mourning and the harvest and celebrating what is gone, but to make room for the new, for what we've just been able to harvest because of all of our hard work from the summertime. So there's this idea of harvest and grief. It's like this dichotomy, death and rebirth. People are shedding. It's just, we're all going through this purification process. But we need to make sure that we balance out that sort of heavy energy with a morale boost a little bit. We need to make sure that we have these moments where we can experience small joys. Just getting yourself out there, just get out of the house and try something new. Just try to laugh, and that will get you through the moments of sadness and begin to reprogram some of the neural pathways in our brain so that we can experience more joy, because I just know a lot of people have been going through really tough times lately. But just making sure that you are giving yourself a chance to step away from the heaviness and experience, even if it's small joy with your pet or just witnessing the beauty of a flower out in nature, watching something that makes you laugh or listening to something that makes you laugh, just something that will give you a little bit of a reprieve. I've noticed also this weird sort of idea of repeating timelines going on, where it almost seems like a lot of the stuff we thought we moved past is coming back around for us again. And I don't know if you can call that like a timeline hacking or a dimensional shift or a glitch in the matrix or something, but I'm seeing a lot of energy, honestly, from like 10 years ago. Just the experiences that people have been having. It's like, these exact situation, the circumstances are exactly the same as they were 10 years ago. And you're reliving it now, but you're reliving it with a fresh perspective. So I don't really think it's as much of a timeline hacking as it is kind of like listening to a CD over again 10 years later and just hearing it in a different way. So now we get to make different choices. Maybe we had a missed opportunity. We wish we could go back and make a different chance. Like, it's strange that the situation is also going to be lining up for people where they're given that opportunity to experience something they've lived through again and like have a second chance at making a different decision or making the same decision but with integrity, more integrity. And it's very interesting. So I just take a look at your life and see like, what's going on for me right now emotionally? Do I feel like I'm stuck in this loop? How can I break the loop? And be really honest with yourself, because we don't want to keep repeating. We keep repeating things until we learn what we needed to learn. And even if we think we have learned everything, if you're still repeating it, then there's still a nugget in there. This is very interesting. I feel like the collective being so heavy right now, and everybody's kind of like bracing for impact, like bracing for something to happen. I feel like, I don't know if that's reflecting in the micro, but a lot of people I know had subpar harvests in their gardens specifically this year. A lot of my flowers didn't grow. A lot of things in my garden didn't really come up, and even though we built a fence around it this year, I'm just curious if anyone else is having that experience too, where like their harvest just yielded a lot lower than they were expecting. So comment below and let me know how your garden did. I'm just interested if this is somehow a reflection of the collective consciousness, because everyone seems to be on such a disturbed level right now that maybe, the earth is reflecting it. It's an interesting idea to think about, because we don't really realize how we do create the reality around us. So if we're in this low consciousness, because of that, that's what's going to be reflected back at us so that we stay there. But really, if we were in more positive states as a collective, I feel the reality would reflect that back to us. So it's sort of this like catch-22, you know, how do we jump from a negative to positive when everything around us is dark and gloomy, you know? How do we flip it if we're in low states of consciousness and then creating that reality? But most, you know, people who are asleep, they think, well, the reality is that way, that's why I'm gloomy. Well, what if you were able to raise your vibration? The world around you would reflect that. A lot of people are waiting for the world to change before we reflect our inner states of consciousness, and it's not going to happen because we are creating our experiences. And that's just a really hard pill for a lot of people to swallow when you're first waking up. But so how do we flip it? I mean, I think we need to have faith. We need to have hope. We need to know that the bad guy never wins in the end. You know, so just holding space of positivity during these crazy times as best you can. If you need to turn away, if you need to tune out, come in and just try to find these moments of joy where even if you need to just be alone in your house, you know, definitely turn off the TV and just pretend for a little while that that's not what's going on. Because we need to hold space for the collective. We need to be there for the people who really don't get it and who are really going through it. We need to be there for each other, and then, you know, days where you're a lot lower, they can then hold space for you. And that will keep the collective frequencies up if we're able to kind of like tap in, tap out. Okay, I'm not able to be there today. I need a day where I'm crying and releasing and feeling it. And then a couple days later, you're back. Somebody else needs a break. But then you're able to step in and hold the frequency for the planet. I really don't feel we're going to see things change and get better until we start doing this. Because right now, everybody is so caught up in the fear and the stress that that's what we're perpetuating. And that is nobody's fault. It is somebody else's fault. We won't get into that right now, but the best we can to flip it, we cut off their energy source. We cut off the negative energy that they're sucking from us. Okay, so I want to send a little bit of Reiki through the chakras right now. I wanted to use the tuning forks to guide us. So if you're ready, please just kick back, close your eyes, relax, and enjoy. Just get comfortable. And we're going to go through each of the chakras. We're going to send Reiki. We're going to see what comes up. Okay, let's start with the root. We may be feeling some stress or anxiety around worrying we have enough, worrying about money, where we're going to live. These are root chakra blockages. So we're going to send some Reiki here. Allowing these blockages to release. Know that you are safe. It's going to be okay. You're going to figure it out. The universe is not going to let you fail. You are supported. Let's breathe into the bottom of the tailbone. then push this energy upwards into the area just below your belly button, into your sacral chakra. Any emotional, sexual blockages, any relationship issues, any self-worth issues can be blocked here. We want to send love to the womb area. Know that you're allowed to experience any emotion that you feel. Honor it. Understand why you're feeling it. And release it in acceptance and love. And hold space and send love to yourself. And then move this energy up. Move into your belly, just above your belly button, into your solar plexus. Any 3D stressors right now, things going on at work, things going on with friends and family, that can be blocked right here. If you're having any setbacks in personal projects, release that now. If you're having any digestive issues, any issues with weight gain, weight loss, we're releasing those blockages now. We're clearing out any energy that you're holding here that you do not need. We're creating these manifestation energies, abundance, flow. If you are having issues with weight loss, I have a guided meditation on my channel for weight loss you can check out. And then go ahead and move this energy upwards into your heart. I feel this is the area a lot of people are having issues with right now. Any broken hearts, any grief, people who've lost pets recently, loved ones. We can hold a lot of that here. We can feel the physical pain in our heart. Heartbreak is a sickness. So breathe and pull that energy up, and send that self-love directly into your heart. You can place both hands over your heart and feel the heat from your palms just move into your heart and send your self-love. The love that you have for others, you should share with yourself as well. Take a moment and tell yourself you are deserving and worthy of love. No matter what other people may tell you. We release any blockages. We open our heart. We inject the heart chakra with bright green, emerald, glowing love and energy. And feel it swirling around here. You can picture it in your head. Pulling the energy from the root all the way up into your heart. And holding it there. Take a deep breath. And then push that energy up into the throat. Release any blockages here, the things you feel you can't say, the things you've said that you wish you could take back. Everything happens for a reason. The most important thing is that you honor your own truth, that you honor your own voice, your own feelings. Your throat chakra is the gateway into 3D reality. It's the way for you to express your energy to others. If we feel stifled by other people, it can create blockages here. So just know that your opinion matters, your voice matters. I'm holding space for you now. We're releasing any limiting beliefs that are blocking this chakra, any fear. Any self-hatred, any guilt, any embarrassment. We're releasing it, and we're honoring everything that we've ever said is valid. And then moving that energy up, we're sending the Reiki now to the third eye. Our intuition, when we doubt ourselves, we inadvertently block our intuition. When someone tells us we're wrong and we believe it, and we don't trust that gut feeling, it's coming in through the third eye. And we're experiencing it as a knowing within us. We need to stop discounting those knowings and start honoring those knowings, because then we'll receive more insight and wisdom from the universe. Trusting in yourself, knowing that your higher self has your best interest in mind. Anyone who's doubting their self, this is for you. This message is for you. You have no reason to doubt yourself. Stop listening to the opinions of other people. Only you know you, the real you. Just send that self-love to your third eye and blast it open and send empowering energy to this area. And then finally pull it out through the top of your head, through the crown chakra. So you feel a direct kundalini line running up through your whole body, from your tailbone all the way up your spine and coming out the top of your head. Today is Sunday, the crown chakra day, and we're honoring those energies. We're pulling in energy from the earth. We're pulling in energy through the top of our head, and we're commingling those energies. We're pushing energy out of our tailbone into the earth that we no longer need, and we're sending the energy out through the top of our head that we no longer need back to the universe to be recycled into positive, loving energy. And we're moving this, we're cycling this energy through etheric Drano. Take another deep breath and pull that energy in through the top of your head. We've set the space, we've cleared the space. Only light beings may be here, only positive energy may be here. We're recycling out the darkness and pulling in the light. We ask that we come back into balance within ourselves, our energies come back into balance, our mood, our hormones, our thoughts come back into balance. We shed all that we no longer need. And we feel more refreshed. We feel ready to take on a new season of fall, autumn, if you're where I am in the world. Either way, these energies permeate throughout. I'm going to continue sending this Reiki, but I do want to discuss a little bit more of the energies, things I'm picking up, things I've noticed. If you want to take a sip of water, take a break for a second. Come back into your body a little bit more. Take another deep breath. And notice the difference now, how you feel. A little calmer, a little bit more centered, a little bit out of your body. So this month of September, we've been in Virgo season. Virgo season is a time to organize. It's a time to clean our space, just move around furniture, reorganize, clean out all the stuff that we no longer need so that life can kind of flow more easily as we move into this colder winter season. And it's the idea of making way for the fruit of the new harvest that you've just pulled. So this is sort of symbolic of, cleaning out your refrigerator, weeding your gardens, throwing out that pile of junk that you've been putting off, so that you can make room for the new bounty that you've harvested. And everything's more accessible and organized and more enjoyable. You'll feel better if your space is more organized, clean. It's less stress when you come home to a house that's in order. It's also a really good time to go through your bills and see where you're overspending. If there's any apps you didn't know you're paying for, if you're overpaying for your internet and you want to consolidate, if you want to get a new cell provider, these are just really great times to reorganize and make sure that if you can cut unnecessary spending. Although we are heading into Mercury retrograde on September 27th, so keep that in mind because that's not always the best time to enter into new contracts. But it is a really great time to take a step back and reflect and then clear out some things that aren't working for you or a waste of time. But we are moving from Virgo into Libra season around the 21st, 22nd. So that's about Libra's, rules balance, equilibrium, this idea again, coming back into balance. Justice. But it's also this idea of perfectionism and idealism. Being really honest with yourself. Not overly critical, but productively critical. So we also have all the major planets are going retrograde right now. And the smaller, faster ones are moving direct. So that is representative of a really great time to get shit done. Even though we're tired and exhausted, it's kind of that idea of like eating on the go and keep going. Like just, we can't stop pushing and manifesting because we're tired. It's like giving birth. We have to push through and just get the last manifestation out. That's sort of the energies we're experiencing with the major planets in retrograde while the smaller ones are going direct. It's like this sort of dichotomy. But we do have a full moon in Pisces the day before the Autumn Equinox on September 20th, which is tomorrow from the day I'm recording this. So Pisces full moon, well, Pisces is a water sign. They're a little mysterious. They're deeply sensitive and emotional. So we're all going to be feeling that. But Pisces is also super creative and adaptive. Pisces are sympathetic and loving, inspired. It's a really great time to work on our healing, to be grateful, compassionate, and, appreciative. And then Pisces is very empathetic and spiritual, a little quirky. They're a little different than Cancer, Scorpio, the other water signs, just a little unique. So, go into those weird thoughts, write some poetry, listen to some different music, and just let your emotions flow through you and honor them and experience them rather than bottling them up or denying them or invalidating them. We want to acknowledge and validate how we feel. Even if we have these weird ideas tied to those emotions. Most of that is programming. So yes, we have 7 planets in retrograde right now. Excuse me. So we have Pluto is retrograde until October 6th. Pluto retrograde is all about inner transformation and release. It's clearing out old patterns. It's looking inward for personal transformation. And it's that same idea of decluttering your space, getting rid of things you don't need. Then we have Saturn is retrograde until October 10th. Saturn retrograde creates an energy to where you're analyzing and you're rethinking thought patterns, beliefs. You're setting boundaries. You're reorganizing priorities. It's a really great time to practice more self-discipline and plan out the changes you want to see in yourself. I don't know if that's maybe like a new weight loss workout routine, or if it's a new career project, something like that. Saturn retrograde really lets us sort of have these thoughts and ideas and map out this journey for ourselves. Then we have Jupiter, which is retrograde until October 18th. This is all about internal growth, internal calm, deepening our faith, reevaluating our beliefs, and then making sure that they align with our true authentic self, who we really are. Is your programming creating your beliefs which doesn't align with who you truly feel you are? That's going to create tension and stress and anxiety within ourselves. So analyzing, are you practicing what you preach? Are you preaching something that has been programmed in you, but deep down your heart isn't there? Neptune is retrograde until December 10th. This is about clarity with no illusions. It's a spiritual awakening. It's letting go of our comfort zones and moving into the unknown, showing compassion whenever we can. So Neptune retrograde can create some disclosure energy, some truth, some civil upheaval, things like that. But then coming into a true awakening through that process. It's removing the veil of illusion. Chiron is retrograde until December 19th. Chiron's the wounded healer. This is all about emotional healing, physical healing, mental healing, ancestral healing. Again, that's till December 19th. Uranus retrograde until January 18th, 2022. Uranus retrograde is all about interchange, independence. It's about embracing our uniqueness. It's about staying open-minded and letting go of limiting beliefs. And this could have something to do, again, with current events. Major changes going on a global scale, on a monetary, financial scale, political scale. It's letting go of these ideas and these paradigms that we hold on to and look at the way things are going. Do you really think these belief systems are working? Maybe it's time we surrender, we let go, we stop trying to control, change, and force, and we allow the natural unfoldment to occur, the truth, disclosure. And then from there, embracing this inner change and this inner uniqueness. Finally, we have Mercury will be retrograde until October 18th. So this is about finishing little things that we've started, even if it's you have a stack of books that you've all read them halfway, going back through those. We can expect some delays. We can expect miscommunication because Mercury rules communication. That's why everything goes a little funky during Mercury retrograde. Technology goes on the fritz. Things kind of get a wrench thrown in projects. Unexpected delays come up. It can create frustration. So it's a good time, instead of trying to move forward with projects, to kind of circle back and go through things and make sure that you've covered everything. Finish up old lingering things instead of moving forward into uncharted territory. Take care of loose ends. Go inward and anything lingering within you still. What's creating frustration? Go into those frustrations and try to find the root of the frustration. It's not the actual situation that's making you frustrated. It's always a deeper issue that's causing the frustration. So we do have some themes that are typical for this type of energy for this time of year. Some symbols of representation for Mabon and the Autumn Equinox. I've been seeing acorns everywhere, just symbology of acorns all over the place. And acorns represent fertility. They represent luck, health, and protection. Also, I just harvested some sage from my garden. Sage is about protection, connecting to your spirituality, purification. As we move into these Samhain energies, the veil thinning, connecting with the dead and connecting, honoring the ancestors, the sage really clears out this line and creates this protection and this magical energy. And one thing we can do is do sage, orange, and cinnamon smudges, as well as tobacco. That's another tool that connects us with the ancestors and the land and promotes healing and purification. Not saying go out and buy a pack of cigarettes because there's tons of poison and toxins in there, but natural tobacco, same idea with coffee, is very grounding. If we can get all of the, artificial toxins out of there. I mean, our ancestors smoked tobacco, pure tobacco, peace pipes, and connected in with the land. So foods that honor and hold this frequency right now, if you want to indulge and tap in and really just honor the colors and the smells and the energy right now, it's a good way to celebrate with other people, is to have food and just come together Thanksgiving style and really just cultivate that energy and honor this time of year of autumn and fall and closing out of the summer and this transition, moving into cooler weather, moving into wintertime. So warm fruit pies, hot apple cider, gourds, parsnips. I've been eating parsnips. I've never have in my life, but they're actually pretty good. Candied parsnips, carrots, onions, corn, melons, nuts, potatoes, barley, and then butternut squash soup, one of my favorites. Herbal butters, like apple butters, caramel apples, autumn salad with nuts, and honey wheat bread, pumpkin muffins, and then mushrooms. Seeing this idea of mushrooms come up a lot lately. I was just listening to a Terence McKenna speech. I love Terence, and obviously if you know anything about Terence McKenna, he's the mushroom king. But he was talking about this Greek mythology festival at Eleusis. So this is, a very mysterious idea, the Festivus at Eleusis. It's really, we don't know for sure what it was, but it's thought to be a sort of mushroom festival that occurred around this time of year. It's a Greek mythology, sort of, but he has a lot of ideas about what this was, what this represented for the people, for the times, for the time of year. But basically, we don't know for sure what was going on there, but it was just a deep mystery surrounding Eleusis. But Terrence says something was drunk and something was seen. So we know Plato went there. And Terrence basically thinks they were drinking some sort of hallucinogen. Even that idea of just like microdosing, it taps us into each other. It taps us into the land and the energy, the collective consciousness. So I've just been seeing a lot of mushroom idea come up. If these people did have a mushroom cult, they would have opened right up. They would have all come together. It's the same energy of community, harvest, gratitude, going inward, recognizing things we need to heal within ourselves. So along the same lines of like harvest, moving into these winter times, it is a great time to preserve foods. We can, pickle, freeze, dry, stock up on our harvest and preserve it for the winter, especially with the crazy political global climate going on. We just don't know what's going to happen next. So it's also a really great time to give back. We can drop some of these cans off at a charity or make some jelly and leave them at a local food shelter just to give back to our community. Or we can, do anything else to donate to charity. Donate clothes, donate goods, items that we no longer need, things that we just want to purge and get rid of. If we can do good things for others without expecting anything in return, then that's a sure way to receive blessings from the universe. It's also, if we can pray over these these items or infuse good energy before we give them to charity, just pray and wish good fortune into these items. Or if you're a Reiki practitioner, infuse the food or the clothing with Reiki. And then aromatherapy, that kind of aligns with this time of year. We have cedar, clove, pine, frankincense, and myrrh. All of these scents and energies really align with this time of year. The totem animals that we may be seeing blackbirds or crows. These tend to be messages from other worlds to those in need. It could be kindred spirits. Usually crows, blackbirds, ravens are connected to the witches. This time of year, moving into Samhain, I love the crows cawing in the tree, the way that sounds. It just reminds me of autumn. And then conversely, we see a lot of scarecrows connected to this time. And I've been wanting a scarecrow for my garden, just like an old, creepy, raggedy one. I've been listening, I just love this time of year. I've been listening to autumn lo-fi, ambient Halloween music, and it just really puts me in the vibe. It really just connects me with this time of year. So I really just want to get a creepy, raggedy scarecrow for my garden, for my pumpkin patch. And then, like crunchy leaves, Oktoberfest, everybody's going to harvest festivals, drinking beer, local brewed beer. And then, like doing these activities will put us in alignment with the rhythms of what's happening in this season on the planet right now. Just grasping onto the beauty of summer and fall as it's fading, and then celebrating it before we move into this long, harsh winter. Just being grateful for what we've had. And then, going for walks in this weather is the perfect time of year to do so. It's a great way to kickstart any sort of weight loss routine. But just getting out there and moving, breathing in the fresh air, getting some vitamin D, getting some sun on your face, stretching your legs. And we also notice this time of year, the sunset really begins to change as it's getting darker, as the days are getting shorter. So pay attention to the change and sort of adjust your body with it. Notice when you wake up if it's light out yet and honor the light as we watch it slowly diminish each day. If we head, when we head into, like, we're moving into daylight savings time soon, where we're going to gain an extra hour, but, you know, if we tune into the cycle shifting as our day is moving from long summer days where it's staying light out till 9 p.m., if we can slowly just witness the diminishing each day, it won't feel so drastic when the next thing we know, it's winter solstice and it's super dark all the time. I like to align my body, my energies with the daylight, sort of winding down when the sun sets, getting up and going when the sun rises. And yeah, just taking stock, if you get up for the same time every day, notice how the daylight is changing and sort of align yourself. I feel it de-stresses, it takes pressure and anxiety down when we really just move with the energy. That's why I do these videos, is kind of just take the temperature of the energy based on the season so that we can align our lives with it and move with it. So we're not going against the energy, because that just creates unnecessary struggle and friction. If we can move with the energies, we're going to be able to manifest more by doing the same amount of effort. So one last thing I just wanted to say, as far as like activities for honoring this time of year, I mean, we're not in Halloween time yet, even though I love Halloween. We're still in this closing out summer, you know, honoring apples, just like an apple fest. And this idea of the apple, where Ostara was, you know, honoring the egg, honoring this fertile new beginning, and then the apple is the seed that has grown into the apple. And, you know, this time of year really honors the apple. It can be used for divination, you know, apple blossom incense. You can use the seed in protection spells. You can plant the seeds to create apple trees, incorporate apples into food, apple wines, go apple picking. The pagans really believed that the apple was a symbol of wisdom and protection. If you cut an apple crosswise through the middle, you'll see the 5 seed cords forming a pentacle. So this is a very mysterious fruit. We can use it for divination tools. So one divination tool I wanted to share with you guys, sorry, my dog is barking, is this one little divination tool that I like to do. You peel an apple, and you get the apple peel in one long strand, and then you say a little incantation, and it goes like this. Dear St. Michael and St. Jude, unto you I intrude, with this pairing to discover the first letter of my one true lover. And then you turn in a circle and you throw the peel over your shoulder, and when it lands on the ground, it will form the letter of the first name of your one true love. So that's just a fun little divination tool that I like to do for this time of year, honoring the autumn energy, the apple, and the pagan sort of celebration of harvest. So, closing this out, I want to head into a quick oracle reading. I had a few general questions I wanted to pose about the energies, about what we should expect coming. So, the first one I have is, what is the theme of the energies from now until Samhain? So I'm going to pull from the Halloween deck and see what we get for this one. I'm going to shuffle up these cards. So again, this is, what is the theme of the energies from now until Samhain? Ancestors. I know, that just keeps coming up. The lore and legacy of our DNA. Interesting. should the ancestor card bring itself to your attention, know that you're ready and able to action your birthright of power. You have the support of those who came before you. There may be challenges or struggles, but you have everything you need to overcome them. I walk in their footsteps. Their wisdom inside me remains. I am unique, yet carry a legacy. Their blood runs in my veins. So I think this sort of just goes back to the need of clearing out these ancestral energies, clearing out our family patterning, and then honoring our ancestral line during this time. Let's see, I wanted to do, what's the next question? Blessings we should expect. Let's pull from the Work Your Light deck for this card. What blessings should we expect? The ever-unfolding rose. Cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. I feel like this card's going to be about going through hard times to experience growth. That's just what the card looks like for me. Let's see here. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you most want to close it, to let life crack you open, to open through hurt and loss, to allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies, as much as triumphs and adventures. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open no matter how much it hurts, to continually unfold, to let life crack you open. Yeah, it's sort of that idea of just surrendering and allowing whatever is going to occur, because the more we fight it, the more resistance that creates. Perhaps you're going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing. Open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. And one day in the not too distant future, you may just bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open because the world needs you open. Now is the time to gently treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby, to wrap yourself in a blanket and trust the mother that has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not be smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day, not too far from today, you'll look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay. Yeah, that really affirms what I was saying in the beginning. You know, everybody's going through it right now. Everybody's struggling. So, surrendering, having faith, trusting in the universe. It's just a process. You know, how many times have we been here? We always get through it. So that question was blessings we should expect. I think the answer there is a blessing in the pain. I think there's a nugget when it might even take years to see the blessing, but it happened for a reason. What am I not seeing is the next question. So let's use the other Lightworker deck for this question. What am I not seeing? Okay, we got Starkeeper. Cosmic Ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. You're an ancient keeper of the stars. So this is, what are we not seeing? You're here to anchor and seed your light in your unique way. You're likely been incarnated on Earth for some time, dedicated to an era of awakening and bringing about a long-awaited shift in the planet's evolution. We're at a tipping point now. The survival of Earth and all its species is coming to a head. The more grounded you remain during this transitional period, the more helpful you'll be. The more you tend to the flames of your own heart, the more love you'll anchor onto this planet. The wisdom of the stars is imprinted in your soul. And the more soul fragments you call home, the more this wisdom is seated here. You may be called to be in a different place in the world to anchor this light, perhaps by taking a trip or living in a certain location. You may also find yourself more experiencing awakening symptoms. The more grounded you remain, the more stable Earth's energy will become and the less reactive humanity will be. You're here for a double mission, to grow as an individual and as part of a larger collective that's bringing about a shift in frequency. Trust that you can be in the world but not of it, and lead a truly glorious life. This is just exactly what I said before. Where, if we need to just go in and ground and focus on our own moments of joy because of how crazy the world is, then that's what we need to do. So what am I not seeing? That you're here for a reason. You're here now for a reason. You're here because the world needs you. And the world is crazy. And if you weren't here, that would be one less starseed that we had on our team. I just got full body chills when I said that. Okay, what should I focus on? That's the next question. And I want to let's do a little inner child here. What should I focus on? Let it come forth. It says repressed emotions can subconsciously fuel many of our behaviors and interactions within the world. And so it's good to explore these when we can. Find a place that feels safe and begin by asking yourself if there is anything that needs to be spoken aloud and released. Observe what comes forth without judgment. So this is again what I was just saying about, don't place judgment on your emotions. Let yourself feel what you're feeling without putting a programmed weird response on it. And just allow. If you need to go sit outside in your backyard and just meditate for an hour with a tree, then that's what you need to do. That might turn your whole day around. So focus on, that was what should I focus on? Let it flow through. I feel there's, someone may be suppressing some emotions, holding it in because they think that that's, I don't know if you have a family, you feel like you need to be brave for them, you feel like you need to put on this face. You're repressing your emotions. Even if you're doing it alone, you're doing it with a friend that is holding space for you. Allowing it, if you need to cry, just releasing it. This is what Reiki helps with. It unblocks blockages. It smashes up congested energy so that we can get the energy flowing again. So this Reiki healing might be bringing up stuff for you. It might be bringing up emotions, perceptions. Without overthinking it, really just try to, where is this coming from? What is this trying to show me? Saying I no longer need this and releasing it and honoring what you felt. Okay, so now I want to do something kind of interesting. I want you to ask a question that you have. And then I'm going to pull a card as an answer to that. Or a message that you need to hear. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to pull 3 animal totems and tell you what they all mean. And then, because I don't think one will be the answer to everybody's question, I think the card that resonates with your question, you'll know which card's for you. Or you can pick now. You can pick 1, 2, or 3 right now, which will be the answer to your question. But let's just see what we get. So go ahead and ask your question in your head, or a theme, something that you want to know. And then I'm going to pull 3. I'm going to pull 3 cards. Okay. Card number 1. We have Chameleon Spirit. Act as if, it says. So whatever card you picked or whatever one you feel most resonance with, this is card number 1 to your question. Being sensitive and having empathy for others can become a heavy burden if you don't practice self-care. Could it be you're feeling stressed because you've tuned in to challenging emotions that aren't even yours? Chameleon Spirit does not want you to adapt to these conditions by withdrawing or distracting yourself, hoping the feelings will just go away, or attempting to rescue another who may be having a pity party. You can be swallowed up trying to manage it all. It's time to figure out where you end and the rest of the world begins. Not all conditions are yours to match. You need to distinguish your own color from the rest of the world now and take time out to soothe your sensitive soul. Choose some activities that will restore your sense of being grounded and avoid people who revel in drama. Take a break from social media too. Self-care and a timeout is the answer to this temporary dilemma. That's interesting. So the last sentence, whatever your question was, group 1, self-care and a timeout is the answer to this temporary dilemma. Chameleons too, they can change their color to kind of blend in and become invisible. So if you need to just kind of like fade into the background, pull up your invisibility cloak and kind of go within. I think that's what this card's about. Like, stop letting people drain your life force. Which, card number 2 is similar. Okay, group 2, Armadillo Spirit, set healthy boundaries. This is a tricky time, as you may find yourself enmeshed with others, overly concerned with how they will take it if you say no or express how you feel. Do you feel anxious saying no to someone so you capitulate, even knowing the outcome will not be in your best interest? Do you feel like it's your job to stop someone from facing their challenges? Instead, you might take on their responsibilities, rescuing them instead of giving them the freedom to learn their lessons their way. Perhaps you feel that if they only knew how much you cared, they would change and then all would be well. Armadillo Spirit asks you to be honest with yourself and others, no matter how difficult that may be or how much you may fear losing someone or something. Face your fear, tell the truth, and set your boundaries. You'll be amazed at the miracles that happen when you let Armadillo Spirit protect you from taking on too much, becoming a people pleaser, and losing your integrity. Another message of protection from Armadillo Spirit is to relax, live, and let live. If you or someone else is being defensive, you're called to step back and trust in Spirit's plan. So again, this is, I feel, right in line with the theme of this reading. But if you were card number 2, it says the message is to relax, live, and let live. Okay? Card number 3. This was you. This is Cat Spirit. Claim your independence. This may be the time you're facing some unpredictable situations. Are you hesitant to take a risk, too cautious to jump into something new because you fear you can't trust yourself? Cat Spirit is saying go for it, because you will land on your feet. If nothing seems to be going according to plan, there is no reason to worry. Cat Spirit loves to mix it up, and these seeming upsets will actually bring you some wondrous and unexpected opportunities. Get ready to pounce, as you may be called to jump into something new at a moment's notice. At this time, your instincts are keen and your intuition is sharp. Remember, even a temporary failure can lead to a spectacular success, so embrace the adventure. You are sure-footed and can trust yourself. Yeah. I feel like this is kind of take a risk. Everything may be falling away right now, but just trust, surrender. All these cards are kind of saying something similar, so maybe that's a message. Maybe all 3 cards were for everybody. Either way, claim your independence, group 3. Be like the cat. Okay, finally, I'm going to do a quick tarot reading, but I also want to pull, I got a new Oracle deck, So this is the Black Moon Astrology deck. I feel a lot of people have this deck. Shout out to 5D Full Disclosure for showing me this deck because I love it. So this is just astrology cards. What I like to do is pull 5, and that kind of tells a little story. So this is going to be for the collective. So is the tarot pull I'm going to do. I'm just going to do a quick tarot pull since this video is getting long. But I wanted to do this first so we can kind of just take the pulse of a snapshot of the energy right now for the collective. See where everybody's at. Okay, so let's pull 5 cards. See what we have. Okay, so we pulled 5th house, which is creativity, Mars, which is force, Mercury, which is mind, part of fortune, which is increase, and void of course moon, which is missing. I've never pulled that one before. Okay, so let's take a look. Mars, for me, is about action. It's about energy, things happening. Mars is the god of war. This card says force. So it's kind of action, movement, a little aggression. And then Mercury, again, we're about to go into Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules communication. This card is also saying Mercury is of the mind. So we may be having a little bust-ups in our communications. We may be getting into some scuffles or fights with people, arguments. But then we also have this 5th house, which is creativity. So I want to pull... This is card 29. I want to see what this card sort of represents. So, 5th house. Pleasure, laughter, parties, getting a rush, attraction, early stages of romance, the joyous element, healthy romance, flings, weddings, pride. So kind of this like abundance energy going on here. And then we have part of fortune, which is also abundance. This seems like monetary abundance. Part of fortune. Inherent talents, the gifts one's born with, what comes easily, what's natural, perception, success, increase, public recognition, generosity, good health, virtuous, success, gains, good fortune, creativity again. And then the last one we have is void of course moon. So this is weather cancellations, frustration, delays, hollow feelings, vagueness, a sense that everything is unreal. Emptiness, unfulfilled plans, a sleeping mind, not paying attention, false starts, matters remaining unsolved, a time to wait a while and start over, a time to float or rest, serendipitous occurrences, a time to disconnect. Inconclusive or wrong medical results, unfavorable time to apply for a job. So that just kind of seems like a little bit of a hiccup. But we are in this Mercury retrograde, which I pulled. And I did pull Mars, which is a little bit about tension, force, issues. But then we have this creativity, we have this juiciness to life, and then the part of fortune, which is success and abundance. So maybe feeling a little all over the place, but hang in there, and it will pay off. If we speak our mind, we don't back down. That's what I got from that. Alright, let's just close out here with a really quick tarot pull. I'll just pull a couple. Just get a little temperature of the collective from, I'd like to say, what do we need to know for these next 2 months? So we're moving into the latter half of September, taking us through to Halloween, to to Samhain. What do we need to know coming up these next 2 months? So these cards all popped out. Okay. Excellent. So these cards all fell out, right? All together. 8 of Swords, the Fool, Queen of Wands, and the World. Okay. So, starting looking at the 8 of Swords, I mean, this is feeling trapped. This is a victim mentality. So it can be like self-imposed restriction, but it's basically feeling like you're a prisoner. But then we have the Fool, which is sort of this innocence, this naivete, running out, foolishly into the world with this innocence and this zest for life. And then we have the Queen of Wands, which she's a manifester. The Wands represents the fire sign. So this is action, energy, passion. And the Queen, this is a feminine fire sign energy. She's just a fierce bitch. She's independent. She's beautiful, aggressive. She's bold, courageous, determined. And then the World I pulled. So the World is really the culmination of success, everything we want from the world. Completion, joy, wholeness, honoring, achievement, success, accomplishments. So that's really the quick pull I'm going to do. 8 of Swords takes us, we feel trapped, we feel victim. And then we move into the Fool, where we're naive, young, and have this new energized zest for life, and we move out into the world without a care. We become the Queen of Wands, who is a master manifestor queen, who doesn't take shit from anybody. And then that leads us into culmination, success, the world, the meaning of life, making sense for us. So get out of our self-imposed stress, depression, step into the bold, fierce individual you know that you are, and own it. Life will start looking a lot more colorful for you. Don't be afraid, don't listen to anybody's doubts about you or listen to anybody naysaying. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Links to leave me a donation or tip are in the description below, but it's paypal.me/BellaImelda and Cash App BellaImelda. If you're interested in booking a private remote session with me, please email me at Bella_Imelda@yahoo.com. My menu is in the description below, and you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate it. As an ending note, I wanted to add that we just watched The Matrix the other night, and the first Matrix, and I really realized how the message behind that movie, I mean, you may think it's one thing, but it really, what the message is that your consciousness creates your reality. So if you watch it again, keep that in mind. Neo is able to be the one and defeat the AI bad guys because he believes that he can. And they all believe he can, so he can. That's the point of the message, and I feel we should all try to take that message and apply it to our everyday lives. So go rewatch The Matrix and notice how that is the message of the whole movie, is that he believes in himself, he believes that he can, and so he does. So I just wanted to leave you all with that and say thank you again so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this healing. Listen to it as many times as you need, and share it if it resonated. So thank you again. I love you so much, and have a great autumn equinox. Bye.